Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to you. As you can see, the grays are graying, and I'm not gonna dye them or anything, okay? They just gonna gray. All back here in my kitchen is gray now. You guys, how you been? I've been missing you guys. When I tell you life has been lifing, is an understatement, okay? Um, so let's get into it, okay? I'm going to share because I always believe that things that we are going through, if we share, somebody else could be going through it that could benefit from it, right? In some way. And so this morning, this is, some clarity, a bit of a revelation, a little bit of, an affirmation of different things and how they give you that 360 in your lifespan, right? That 360. And that seems like what my life has been doing, that transformation um of just life, right? Of life, if I could say anything else. So just bear with me because it might be to a point where I'm just like taking it all in as I'm speaking to. You know how sometimes you say something and you're like, wow, that's exactly what I've been going through. And it's like not until you say it out loud, then you're like, wow, right? And that's what I've been going through. Okay, so most of you know that I've been taking care of my mom for almost 4 years now. She's on hospice and she has dementia and Alzheimer's and all of that stuff, right? Going on. And I would say the last 2 months have been really good with, because, with dementia and things like that, you have a up and down. It's a up and down. And you have your points where they could get agitated, be violent, all of those different things. So these last 2 months, I would say even 3 months, my mom has been maintaining with the medication and not so much of the dips. Now, if something changes in, her routine, like going on different outings, like she had tried to go to Bible study and she was gone for like 2 hours. No, 2 hours for Bible study, and then the people that picked her up for Bible study, they tried to take her out to lunch. I didn't know she was going out to lunch, right? They didn't make me aware of that. But that was way too much for my mom in that day. Just to give you a little idea of what dementia is all about, right? And so that was too much for her. And so when she got home, she was exhausted, right? And so that was Sunday. That was a Sunday, right? So she was literally exhausted and she just wanted to get into her like change up, wash up, whatever, and get into her night clothes, right? And she just slept, right? That's how exhausting that can be. Now, you'll see someone with dementia and they look like they got it all together. But a lot of times it's, the little things that just exhaust them. And so I was like, okay, mom, just rest. If you want to watch some TV or whatever. She's like, no, I just want to sleep. And so, you have to allow them to have that time, and sometimes they want to be reserved and all of those things. Um, Needless to say, right, I'm gonna switch topics a little bit, right? So that's just giving you a little bit of that I deal with different meals with my mom as well. because now she can't swallow chicken. A lot of times with dementia and Alzheimer's, they have a thing that starts to happen with their throat, and it's like you hear all that, and spitting up and all those type of things. They can't swallow like they used to. That's a normal occurrence, right? And so chicken now my mom can't swallow. So it's these salmon patties that I've been getting and making like a hash for her with mashed potatoes and stuff that's soft, like almost childlike. You get back to that, right? Like you would do the purees and stuff like that for your kids. It's kind of going back to that now. And so anything soft, anything, what the nurses from hospice told me is to make sure that I do a wet minced food for her. So that's what I've been doing. But let's transition now, right? For mom. So it's been one thing after another, like I mentioned, right? And so what's been happening with the household we lived in, because my mom was living with me, right, for the last 4 years. Well, what happened is my landlord gave me a notice, right? And I'm like, you got your rent. What's the problem? Well, he gave me a notice. So as I was saying, my landlord gave me a notice, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, I thought literally I was being punked, right? And so I've been in my place, just so you guys could know, a little background, for 11 years, right? And I do believe, in looking back now and some of the revelations that I was speaking about, I believe that I wanted to go a long time ago, just for the fact of I had already started packing up boxes and all of that in my garage. Um and so I didn't need to get boxes. I had even got a lot of the containers from Costco, those plastic big containers and all of that. And so, needless to say, he gave me a notice, and he says basically that he's not going to continue my I'm looking at my eyes, you guys. Oh my goodness. When I tell you this move has been exhausting, it's been exhausting. To try to go through your things and figure out what you're going to keep, what you're going to throw out, because you got to put everything in storage. It's not fun, and that has been difficult for me. But getting back to this notice, right? So basically he gave me a notice, stating that he wants me to move out and he's not going to continue my tenancy. So I asked him basically, why is that? He really didn't give me an answer. He just said, it's not personal, it's business. Okay. So I went to a legal aid office and, showed my lease and, stated my case and showed that I've been paying every month, because honestly, I never knew that a landlord could just put you out, and you haven't did anything. Like not paying your rent or um keeping up ruckus or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't do any of that. I was paying my rent. I was a exemplary tenant for 11 years, kept up his property. So I just didn't know that a landlord could just put you out. So that's why I went to legal aid. Well, come to find out, there is a protection act for tenants, right? But it didn't go into effect until 2017 is what the legal aid person told me, right? The sun is coming in, so give me a second. Let me see if I do that, if it would help. Okay, that helped a little bit. But needless to say, it was a protection act, And that Protection Act does not cover me under my tenancy, under my lease, or what have you, because I was there before the Protection Act, the Tenant Protection Act went into effect. Okay? You following me? So because of that, he could put me out whenever he wants to, and I'm not covered. Now, anybody else, they wouldn't have to pay for the last month. He would have to, since he wants them out, like he wants me out, he would also have to pay for the relocation for me and all of those type of things, right? Under the Protection Act. But because I'm not under that, and because I was there way before it came out, right? Then he could just tell me to leave and I have to leave, right? So she says, unfortunately, he has every right to put you out, right? So I was like, okay, I'm not going to fight it. I feel in a lot of ways that my creator is telling me that it's time to go. And we all have those instances where it's time to go, it's time to go, but you just like, just a little bit longer, right, Lord? Just a little bit longer because I'm not ready. I want to save up some more money, or I want to do this first. Like December 5th, I have a surgery coming up. So my thing was, let the surgery get done. Then I'll start to look for places or whatever, because I knew going into 2025, didn't want to be here. That was the reality of my life, right? But it wasn't on my terms, right? It was on his terms. And honestly, I believe God put it into play, right? Because sometimes when we don't make movement or in our life, and God feels, right, that it's time for us to move to our next level of what's the word I'm looking for? Elevation. Then he will take us out of those different circumstances, right? And we're not moving fast enough for him. So he will, move for us. And that's what I feel that God has done for me. Now, was it the best time for me? No, because 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be getting surgery, right? 4 to 6 weeks of recuperation time. So today is going to be my last day getting out the last things in my garage and whatnot. So I wanted to kind of chronicle all of this, right? Because I haven't told you guys all of the stuff that's been going on. So you think about it, I have to be out of work for 4 to 6 weeks. I have to do this move and complete that, right? And then surgery coming up as well. So, and then on top of that, I had to talk to my brother because I didn't have a place to put my mom. So then that had to get set up. Then all of the hospice nurses, I had to notify them that they will now be transitioning to his address, and then kind of get the okay from him, because everything with my mom thus far has been on me, right? So getting everything organized for her, making sure that she has all her snacks, her foods, everything like that. And now transitioning to a different address. And then every time you switch something with someone with dementia, right, it can trickle other effects. And then, they can revert back. You have those dips again, right? Those roller coasters almost, all of that. So I was worried about that. So you could just think about the level of stress that's been on me. Still been going to my therapist and talking to her, which has been helpful. If you guys feel like mentally and emotionally, right, you're in that spot where you need to talk to someone, please, I admonish you to talk to someone, because it is helpful. because all of the stuff I've been going through has brought on anxiety and stress. And so talking it out with her has been really, really helpful for me. So I would definitely suggest doing that, right? Um, what else, you guys? If you have any questions, um, want to share thoughts of something that you've been experiencing as well, and could either be helpful to me or could be helpful to someone else, right? Please go ahead and put it in the comments. Um, but one thing I wanted to share, you guys, is that this whole situation has been a little overwhelming for me, right? And sometimes I have felt like I am drowning in everything. Like I have to be responsible for everything. I'm the youngest child of my mom and my dad, right? Everybody else is older than me. But it seems like sometimes like everything is on me to get completed. For our parents, with my dad when he passed, I went to Belize and he went into cardiac arrest and unfortunately he didn't make it. And I was just telling my daughter this morning that it's a lot of times people don't talk about this kind of stuff. Like how children now have to basically revert back or take a step forward and become like the parent to their parents. You know what I mean? And then the parents revert back to childhood. And then you have to see how to balance that. People don't really talk about this. And this is like a thing. It's a major thing. I went through it with my dad. I'm going through it now with my mom. And you have to think about the afterlife, the burial, the mortuary, because even with hospice they told me that you're going to have to tell us the mortuary you want your mom to be taken to, and making all those type of decisions and thinking about that. Those are the things that people don't talk about, and those are things that I want to talk to you guys about and see if you've experienced these same things. And maybe somebody will be on this YouTube channel and listen to this video and are going through the same things. And this information or um me sharing my experience can maybe help them. If you put in the comments your experiences or whatever, maybe that can help that particular person. That's the whole purpose of this channel, Speaking Your Truth with Charlie, is because there are real life situations that everybody is going through, and if we don't share them, then those particular people can't benefit from them, and it's definitely important. um so yeah, so I gotta go and finish this move, everyone. But I did want to touch bases with you guys because I do care about the channel and I care about each and every one of you. And I hope that you're having a great day on this Monday. But if life is lifing like it's been lifing for me, um, just keep the faith, trusting yourself, trusting God. Keep praying. You got to stay prayed up. You got to believe, because sometimes these things happen to us just to see how faithful we are, how reliant on God we're going to be. And these are just tests of our faith in some way. And so we got to just keep the faith, keep pushing, keep moving. Don't give up. You're doing great, because that's what I hope somebody would say to me, right? Now, my friend, she says that to me all the time. But as far as like family or whatever, I don't get that motivation from them. So if you're in that same situation, you got to make those affirmations for yourself, right? To keep pushing. You're doing great. I'm going to tell you, you're doing great. You're looking beautiful, right? you guys know I'm on my weight loss journey. So those are some of the things that I have to say to myself. Okay, we're not to the goal yet as far as weight loss, Charlotte, right? Because you know that's my name. Charlie is my nickname. But we're going to keep pushing and we're going to keep doing our thing, right? Um, and getting there. And I feel good about me. I feel good about where God has me. And I'm gonna say something, the first night that I stayed with, because last Thursday was my last time in my place, I just been going back and like cleaning it out and trying to get all the stuff that we needed to move to storage, right? And so, the first night that I woke up here with my friend, because I was able to move in with my friend, and thank God for her. And I feel like this is just such a blessing for me and my daughter and my dog, to be honest. And the first night that I woke up, and this is very telling, right? I realized that morning when I woke up, I was just like kind of meditating in bed. And I said, wow, right? I don't think in that place that I was living, I don't think I've been sleeping at all. Like literally at all. Because I had a neighbor next to me. His dog would bark 24/7. And this is no lie, 24/7. If it was not him cussing somebody out, it was somebody coming to his house cussing him out. It was him and his wife fighting. Not to be telling people's business, but that's what it really was. And it was not a place of peace. I mean, I had my crystals, you know, tried to play my inspirational music, my religious music as well, to kind of keep all that away, right? But as far as like sleeping, I was not. That was the first night that I slept in probably years. And I was like, God, you've been seeing this. And I was still getting up, going to work, doing everything that I had to do because I had to be there for everybody, including my mom. And, making sure the nurse's schedule is set and making sure the doctor's appointments are set, making sure medication is getting delivered. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm a healthcare provider, for my clients, right? So I also have to go outside the home, do exactly what I'm doing inside the home with my mom, and make sure the whole house is running and everything is getting done. And then on top of that, not getting any sleep. On top of that, in severe pain. Hence, that's why I'm getting surgery, right? And so I felt pain every day. I still feel pain until I get this surgery. So just trying to cope with all of that, right? And so I was just saying to myself, like, wow, I was just going to stay in that situation until I could have went to somewhere else, right? God says, no, you need to be in a peaceful situation. You need to now let someone else step up and start to take care of your mom because you're going to have to take care of self, right? And those are some type of situations that we just keep pushing through, right? Because we want to be helpful to everyone. And sometimes we as individuals neglect self for everybody else. And sometimes we have to realize that we have to move on to a different transformation of our life for self. And if you're like me, you give to people all the time, right? But there's nobody, for the most part, that gives back to you. Let me clarify that a bit, right? I've never had that around me until my friend, to be honest with you, recently. Um, well, no, my friend Inger, she's been in my life now for probably about 6 years. And we have given to each other. It's a mutual, you know, relationship. And I love that because I haven't had that for a long time with women per se, right? Um, as I told you guys before, my two best friends that I had, oh God, I hate to revert back to that, but that's another situation with December coming up because both of them died in December. So that's a situation I have to get through every December. That's hard for me. And my two best friends was Monique and Carol, right? And so I really haven't had a relationship to that status until now, right? And so to have God put people around me that don't want anything from me, but want to assist me and help me and see me on the rise is so amazing. And if you don't have that in your life, pray that God brings that in your life because it's something when you can say, I have a real friend and I know my friend is going to be there, period. That's a great feeling. And I am so grateful for her husband, for her family, because even with moving some of my stuff, I didn't know how, like, my refrigerator was going to get moved and everything. And her son in law came and helped get all that done, right? Where I don't have family or friends that I thought were my friends assisting me, I have had help with everything, with the circle of people around me. And it's quite amazing. And I thank God for each and every one of them, right? But not to draw out this video, I just wanted to share this, you guys, because I'm in a place of gratefulness, peace, serenity, and that 360 I've been telling you about. I know I'm there. There's so many situations in my life that have given me that 360. You're here, you say this, and now it's being done, right? And so I love you guys. I pray that you have immense blessings coming your way now and into 2025. I will come back on and do another video or do a live in some form, even with my hospital stuff, to keep you guys informed. And I love you. And until next time, bye bye.